What's up guys, welcome back to another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. In today's video we are going to be talking about what's going on with Modern Warfare at the moment and what Infinity Ward is doing. So Infinity Ward has actually said that they need to communicate better with the community, and all this came from a Reddit post. So basically recently, about the past week or so, Infinity Ward's art director Joel Emsley has actually been pretty active on Reddit, and it's been quite the surprise because there hasn't been almost any other developer contact on Reddit or even on Twitter for about the past month. And I mean, at least the developers say it was large part due to the fact that apparently they were getting death threats. Like they came out at one point and they're like, yeah, no, we're getting, a lot of death threats and people are saying that they're going to murder my entire family. And then after they posted that, they just like, I'm out. They didn't like say anything for like a month there. So, I mean, it makes sense that they weren't talking a bunch over, the end of December, early this month, because of the holiday, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, everybody, should be back from holiday, basically at Infinity Ward, but also it still doesn't explain why at the beginning of December, we got, like, no communication either. On Reddit, he actually replied to the whole thread about the extra custom created class slots. I already made a video about that specifically, but on one of the comments on here, somebody responded to him and they said, "Thank you for the feedback, vote for you as community manager any day." And he responded to that and he goes, "In my opinion, our community manager is doing a phenomenal job working to the best of her ability within some really, really tough constraints. She does a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes that is never seen by the community. I had the luxury of popping in here from time to time to spitball stuff with you guys, and I'm happy to do that." So he's basically saying, okay, the community manager is doing a really good job, but also I think what's really interesting is this next person's comment. They say, "I'm confused to why she's the community manager then if her work is on the back end, not with the majority of the communities. Seems like it's time Infinity Ward gets another community managers actually here to communicate and relay info for the, real community." And I happen to actually agree with this person. I think that if her job is largely in part like doing a lot of back-end stuff, probably like most likely what she's doing is she's like reading all this stuff and figuring out what the community wants, and then she's communicating it to the developers. Now that's good and great and all, but at the same time, as a community, we don't hear or see about any of that. Like, we post stuff, but we don't get any Infinity Ward replies. Nobody says anything. And so it just seems like nobody's listening, because I guess the information just gets passed on to the developers, and a lot of that stuff, they're not really doing anything with it. Like, people have been wanting the minimap to be changed from ever since the beta, and it still hasn't gotten changed, so Infinity Ward hasn't even commented on that. So stuff like this, I happen to agree here. I do think that there needs to be at least another community manager, one person who can take everything and talk to the developers about it and be like, hey guys, this is what's going on in the community, this is what they're all talking about, this is their issues with the game. And then another one who can basically just like take everything that the developers are saying and give it back to the community. Basically go, okay, here's what the developers have said about this particular issue. Here's what Infinity Ward's internal staff is actually saying about the minimap. Here's what they're saying about this issue or that issue or whatever. Here's a timeline for when this is going to get fixed. Something like that, I feel like communication is just like the biggest problem with this game. Is that, there are a lot of things like, the minimap and skill-based matchmaking stuff that the community wants fixed, but I feel like even more than that, the community just wants answers. Like, if they would at least come out and say, like, hey, we think the minimap is best this way, here's our reasons why, let's have a conversation about it, that'd be fantastic. Instead, they're just like tight-lipped, they're like, nope. Anybody mentions minimap, and they just turn off their ears, stop listening, forget about it, and they leave. Whereas that shouldn't be the case. They should actually take the time to acknowledge the community's frustrations and at least answer it. They don't have to give in to everything. They don't have to agree with the community, but they should at least back up their own decisions. But Joel actually put out another reply a little bit later, and he says in this that almost all the responses I've been discussing in the sub are in my area of expertise, so I can be very open. As long as we're on the topic, I would like to ask everyone in the community to give my coworkers a lot more respect in the area of comms. Everyone is working as hard as they can and doing a phenomenal job. I do think none of us would argue that we need to find better ways to get the community information about the game. We are working on it, and with anything this big, there's always room for improvement. So, I think this was like a good statement that he put out. And it's kind of interesting that this is coming from just a single developer. Like, this is like, I'm sure, his personal opinion stuff, whereas this isn't even coming from the community manager or from Infinity Ward themselves, because they've been largely absent. And he got clowned on pretty hard for this statement, saying that they need to find better ways to get the community information about the game. And people are clowning on him, basically being like, if only there was like a large group of people maybe subscribed to a subreddit about the game that you could like comment on and make posts on and be able to talk to people with. Or maybe if there was a social media platform where you could send messages to people, or you could put out a statement to people who follow you. Maybe you put out like a little quip or a little message, maybe a tweet or something. Oh, wow, Twitter exists. How hard is it to click tweet? You click tweet, you type in a message, and you hit tweet, and bam, it sends it out to everybody who's following you. Simple as that. Now, Ashton, the community manager, the person who's actually, job this is, she actually said back early on in December that Infinity Ward is working on a roadmap and that things are, quote, coming, but she didn't even like give a time when it would be coming out. She didn't even tell us when the roadmap would be coming out. But here's the other thing too, is like that was over a month ago and we still don't have a roadmap, and it just kind of doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, is it really that hard for Infinity Ward to basically be like, okay, here's our plans, here is what we're planning for a date for Season 2. I mean, they already have a date for Season 2. Like, if you look in Modern Warfare and you go to the store, to the Battle Pass, you can see how many days are left of the Season 1 in the Battle Pass. So we already know when Season 1 is going to end, when Season 2 is going to start. Infinity Ward could at least come out and be like, hey, Season 2 is going to start this day, it's going to start in February, and we're going to have a big update coming out with it. Here are some things we are currently working on. Wow, how hard is that? You don't got to put out some fancy graphic and find out specific dates and make any official release like timelines. You can just hop on Twitter and be like, hey guys, this is what we're working on right now. I think, we're going to try and fix a lot of these weapon balancing stuff. Oh, I know there's a lot of issues and stuff going on with Ground War and a lot of glitches. Hey, we're currently working on that. That'll be coming out in a new update. How hard is that? Honestly, like, that's not hard. Like, that could honestly take a developer like 30 seconds to tweet. But, I mean, all of this isn't to, like, put down Infinity Ward, the community managers, and people like that in any way. I know that they have a, it's kind of a tough job trying to deal with, like, a video game community, any community, really, but especially the Call of Duty community, because no matter what, like, update, whatever changes you make to the game, there's always going to be people who, like, disagree with it, who don't like it. Heck, even if they came out and they were like, hey, we are going to completely get rid of skill-based matchmaking, I guarantee you there's going to be people who will still complain about that. Even something that, like, you think that the whole community would enjoy, I guarantee there's still people who would complain. If they came out and they're like, hey, everybody, we're giving everybody 1,000 free COD points, people are still going to complain. Like, you can never please everybody in this community, and I know it's a tough job, but I feel like it'd be a lot easier if they would just be a lot more open about things. You don't have to give us specific, like, dates. Just say, hey, we're working on this issue. Hey, we're working on this one. Like, it would honestly be a pretty easy job to just hop on Twitter, have somebody hop on Twitter, and every one of their replies, reply to them. So somebody's like, hey, I'm having this glitch. Be like, hey, cool. Pass it on to the team. They're going to be fixing it, and it's going to be coming out an update soon. Somebody else is like, hey, when's skill-based matchmaking going to be, removed from the game? Be like, we can't really talk about this right now. We have no plans to remove skill-based matchmaking or anything like that. Stay tuned. How hard is that? Like, that'd be pretty easy, right? And at least it tells the community that they're listening, and they can at least talk to us like adults. They can at least give us an answer, rather than all this, like, smoke and mirrors where they don't want to even talk to us. They don't want to, like, even listen to us. They're just kind of hiding in the shadows being like, So we have no idea if our voice is being heard or not. And I feel like it's kind of killing this game at this point. But hopefully this will all change real soon with the roadmap, and with the community managers and other, developers from Infinity Ward also being more active on Reddit and Twitter and stuff. So hopefully all this stuff will be fixed real soon, because Modern Warfare desperately needs it. But there you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. That is all we have for today's video, guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comments down below. What do you guys think about Infinity Ward's communication and what they could do better? Let me know in a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.